Amazon prices are fake, the sales are fake. It's all based on an algorithm to get you to spend as much money as possible. Just watch. This is Vermont cheese. I have purchased it before, so Amazon knows that I like it, and Amazon knows I prefer to buy things on sale. So what do? They tell me that the price of $3.98 is 31% off to entice me to buy it. Now, when I go on a different person's account, a family member, it says $3.98 with no sale. And this account has never purchased the item. So Amazon is just giving the normal price. But for me, it lies to me and says that the normal price is a sale.
So it turns out Tesco have been lying to us. So when you go to Tesco, you will see the fruits, veggies, meats, whatever, with these names of the farms. And sometimes it will be Nightingale Farm or Burton Farm, whichever farm it's from. They are not real farms. Tesco have created these farms. They're fake farms. When you're looking at the Nightingale Farm's tomatoes, you think that, oh, it's a British farm, sounds like a family farm. Those tomatoes could have come from Morocco. They could have come from a large mass-produced farming operation. So they are umbrella farms that are just a marketing name, and that food could have been sourced from anywhere in the world. They are basically a marketing tactic which makes you think that the food you're buying was produced in the UK by a local farm. So this new tactic that they're using is called farm washing. So we've heard of greenwashing, obviously, when companies say that they're environmentally sustainable, but they're not actually. It's more just words rather than actions. This farm washing, which Tesco are guilty of, is something where they say that it's from a type of farm. They make you believe that it's from a type of farm, but it's actually not. It is all words just to hide a huge, large-scale operation. In my opinion, this is false advertisement because it is a deceptive marketing tactic where you think you're buying from a UK farm, you think you're buying from a family farm or, a more local farm. And I think it's really important when we do talk about how marketing is used within food products, because a lot of the time, even, they'll advertise things as being sourced in Britain, but you'll turn the packaging around and it will be Argentina. Or things may be labelled as organic, but only one or a handful of their ingredients needs to be organic. The rest can be absolute rubbish. Or it can be labelled as natural when it is absolutely not natural at all, and it's full of cancer-causing chemicals.
Does it feel like you're getting scammed? Because you see all these things of offers being put up, 50% off, 70% off, and then there's a little up to 50% off, up to 30% off. So it's all a bit of a blag, isn't it? It's all a bit of a con. And like what everyone said today, they've all had their problem with things being priced at a price which you think is really good, but it's actually a bit of a scam. Just like the receipt guy, looking on his receipt and finding things that he didn't actually pay for. This is what's happening sometimes. We're getting ripped off and scammed in shops every single day. We're getting scammed online every single day. So be vigilant. Watch your receipts. Always check that you haven't been shortchanged, because at the end of the day, you're the one who'll be out of pocket. And it's not fair in this cost of living crisis in the UK at the moment. Everybody needs to watch where their pennies are going, and you need to make sure you keep money in your pocket. You don't want to be spending excess money on things that don't actually service you. It'd be silly, and it'd be you mugging yourself, aren't you, really? So be vigilant. Watch for these sales. Make sure these sales are legit. Make sure it's not just an up to 50% off or up to 30% off or up to 60% off. Get the actual amount that you've got. And also, don't be conned by those weights in supermarkets. When you buy a leg of lamb and it's saying it's like $9.99 when really it's $9.99 per kilo, and it's a 3 kilo piece of meat. This is how they try and scam old people sometimes with those big prices, and if everything's per kilo, not actually for the weight of the meat that you buy. So don't be scammed like that either, and stay vigilant, all of you.
Guys, please be careful. Even if it's a mistake, it's still going to cost you money. So when you go shopping, always check the receipt, because I'll show you it's going to cost you money. So I went to the shop with my girlfriend, with my fiance, and we bought some stuff, just a few things, paid, came back home, made the mistake of not checking the receipt, and afterwards we looked at the receipt and realized that we've been overcharged a lot. Let me show you. This is in the UK. I'm not going to show the name of the shop. It's here inside the receipt, because I'm going to take this back, explain what happened, and hopefully I'm going to get a refund. But I'll show you the receipt. So we paid £47.73, and if you look here, we've been charged £18.97 for 4 apples. We didn't know this, we didn't check, but it was supposed to be around £1.95, which is this one. Okay, can you see that? So, because we are in a rush, we didn't check, this has happened. So £18, £19 extra for nothing, basically. So this happened before with another famous supermarket. That's the time I actually checked, but I'm sure, and I heard stories before, people don't check. You put everything in your basket, you get your receipt, and you just pay. So next time, just check, because that £18.97 is basically almost the whole receipt. Lesson learned. Next time I'm gonna check. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe it was done on purpose, but I'm gonna ask them to give me the refund, and if they don't, I'm gonna ask them to go and check the CCTV, because I didn't buy fruits and vegetables worth 20 quid. So next time you go shopping, spend another minute and check in your receipt, because it can cost you a lot of money. Has this happened to you before? Because I heard stories, and it'll be interesting to see. So comment below and let me know, and yeah, hopefully it was my mistake, but we shall see. I'll keep you guys posted to see what the shop says, but as I say, it's a local one, and I don't want to embarrass them online just yet. See you later.
Right, I've been scammed out of £360. I sold an old colonial Urquell sideboard. Urquell, very famous brand and very sought after, that's why it's fetched a good price. I delivered it within 2 days of purchase, because I was planning on going down south anyway to do other deliveries, and that was close by one of the drops. So I delivered it, everything seemed fine, the customers seemed happy, thought it was great. 3 weeks goes by, I then get a message saying, yeah, Phil, the cupboards really smell on this, and I can't get rid of the smell. I've used all sorts of chemicals, and I can't get rid of the smell. I didn't notice any smell at all. It was in the same family home for X how many years. It was not left outside. It was not left in a damp environment. There was nothing wrong with it. There was no nicotine smell or anything like that. But she said the smell came from the inside the cupboards. And we want 60% off to compensate for this. It was cheeky. Yeah, I know, and so I said I have no intention of paying you 60% back. Because I can't prove or disprove what you've said. Well, I can't return it either now, because I've chopped the legs off and I've sanded it down. So basically, what's really she's saying is, I've modified it, but it's now no longer what I want, because it doesn't fit in with my decor, because it's not gone the way I wanted it, or if I've changed my mind basically after she's modified it. Well, I said, well, I'd just, if you weren't happy with it, I'd come and collect it, but I can't come and collect it now because you've ruined it, basically. Then she opened the return request. Went back and forth a few times. I said, can you have some pictures of what you've done? She was perfectly forthcoming that she's modified it. She put it in the pictures. And I said, well, I can, these return requests, on the return request, offer a full refund, offer partial refund, or get a postage label. Now, it's a 5 foot, sideboard, that's 60 kilos plus. So, yeah, it's not something a conventional label will suffice for. I spoke to eBay, because I just said, you know what, I'm just going to let it go to case, let eBay take control of it, because she's provided evidence that she's modified it. I cannot prove or disprove what she's claiming. What I should have done, but I've never been in this situation before, what I should have done is go and collect it and then complain to eBay that it's been modified. But really, I thought, if eBay analysed the case and see that she's modified it, I thought logically, well, she's modified it, there's no reason why you should accept a return. but obviously it hasn't gone that way. Because I let it go to case, because I let eBay take control of it, and I didn't, you know, I've got no intention of picking it up. I've got no intention of collecting it because you modified it, and I've got no intention of giving you 60% back. And then eBay took control of it and gave her a full refund and let her keep the item. Now I've complained about this because I let eBay take control of it. It usually never goes the seller's way if I don't find a peaceful resolution, if I don't find a resolution on my own. I said, but there was no resolution. My argument, there's no resolution to be had if she's modified it and she's asking for a refund for a reason that I can't prove or disprove. So, very upset, very angry, and then, you know, I've said, listen, I want to come and collect this since you've already got the refund. And then I just got a snotty message saying, collection will be quite impossible now because I've been refunded and basically fuck you. No, I've not done with it. Whoever I spoke to saying, and now I've appealed, and the appeal basically was like done by AI, it seems. Because I didn't provide a postage label or offer a resolution on my own, that the appeal is just quashed and it's null and void. So yeah, very bemused, very deflated, very disappointed with eBay. Even though it's a relatively large sum of money, it's just the sheer principle of it, it's the sheer unfairness of it that I'm really struggling with. And I'll keep trying. I'll try and get somewhere, but yeah, the joys of being a reseller, I suppose.